Hey there, welcome to my channel. My channel is all dedicated to the Pilates method of exercise and how to do the exercises better. If you love the method like I do, you are in the right place. If you've been here before, welcome back. And today's video is a little bit a different kind of video. I received a comment, and I apologize, I cannot find the comment to thank you personally for asking this question, but I received a question about how to do, could I do a workout if I can't get onto the floor? So this is a very valid question, and thank you so much for asking, because in Pilates we have an apparatus specifically for that purpose, and which is called the Cadillac. It is basically a mat that's at a height where you can just sit on it. You don't have to get to the floor. It's about this height of a massage table. It's much higher than the reformer even. But if you're at home and you don't have a Cadillac, you could certainly find some sort of firm surface like a daybed. My mother-in-law actually has a daybed, and my father-in-law had placed a plywood board under the cushion of the daybed to make it a little bit more firm so that she would be able to lie on a raised surface since she had difficulty getting to the floor. So you could certainly do that kind of a scenario. And today I'm going to actually give you some options for seated exercises and standing exercises, because everyone pretty much has a chair. And I'll also include some exercises done against a wall. I have another video for that, and I will include it in the info box below. So first of all, let's talk about your chair. So if you have a chair like I actually have a chair that you should have a better one than this one. So if you can see, this chair has a curved back. And this is really, facilitating what our backs want to do. And if you have a chair that has a straight, flat back, that's really what you want. And ideally, if you had maybe a leather dining room kind of high-backed chair that was straight, then you're golden. We actually have an armchair in Pilates where it has a upholstered seat back. And so I'm gonna do some things that I can show you here, but if you have the straight chair, that's really what you want. So if you have your straight chair, you could actually sit all the way back where the back of the chair meets the seat, and you could just roll forward and try to place each part of your back sequentially up in the chair, so that you're trying to make you the shape of the chair. And if you indeed have that straight chair, this is a great exercise and a really good bit of information for you to know about your back and what it's like. And if you really try to go absolutely in sequence without skipping any spots, it's not easy to do. So you could certainly do that 3 to 5 times, and that would be a great exercise. Pay particular attention to not skipping anything in the low back and the top of the upper back, where from the mid upper back to the neck, usually that's the part that likes to be curved over. So if you try to make that touch the chair, that's going to be a really nice opening exercise for you. So if you don't have that kind of a chair, the wall videos are going to have you do kind of a similar rolling up action into a wall. So you could certainly do that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if you just had an ottoman or a stool or a small seat, you could put it against the wall and then use the wall to roll up. You would have to make sure that you didn't, push so hard into the wall that you pushed yourself away from the wall, but that actually would be better, especially if you didn't have a chair. If you have a chair like mine, this one, not so good. So I will include that video as well in the info box, the one about the wall. So now, let's say you've done your rolling up into the chair or the wall 3 to 5 times. You could actually take what you learned from that template of your back, of the back of the chair, and if you're shorter and when you have your back against the chair, your feet are not really connected to the floor, you'll need to take what you learned about what is straight in your back and move yourself kind of toward the edge of the chair. I like to sit so that the underneath part of the buttock and the thigh, the top of the thigh, is right at the edge of the chair, because then you can kind of push into the floor a little bit and just squeeze the part of the bottom that you're sitting on, because the bottom is a really big muscle in Pilates. That's not a snarky remark. It is a large muscle group, and it is a muscle group that we use a lot in the Pilates method. So you could just kind of acquaint yourself with your bottom and squeeze it a few times. And probably while you're squeezing that, your stomach will automatically kind of do something. And if you rolled up the back of the chair, you kind of felt what your stomach has to do to make your back sit up very straight. So as you squeeze your bottom and pull your stomach in, you want to try to sit up as tall as you can, even if your back is not on that chair. And then you're going to relax it. And then you're going to squeeze it again. And then you're going to relax it. So you can do that, especially if it's kind of hard to find. You could do that about 10 times. And then now we're going to build on that skill of finding and squeezing your bottom and sitting up super tall. If you can hold that together and maintain it, you're going to try not to change anything, and you're going to try to lift one of your legs up and hold on to it. And you'll probably, if you try this, you'll probably, as soon as you start to lift that leg, you'll kind of feel like a shift or a sink. And ideally, you're going to try to keep everything perfectly still. And actually, you could probably put your legs together. That might be a little bit more manageable. So keep everything together, stay very tall, and then don't change anything. Just pull your stomach in and try to pull your leg in as close to your chest as you can without sinking in your back. And once you've done that and you sit up tall and nothing else moves, that's as far as you go, and then you'll put it back down again. If that was a big deal and very hard to do, you could relax for a second and then do the other side. But if you're fine, try to do at least one set before taking a break. And if this is easy, try to keep your lift and change without letting anything go in here. If you're trying to do this properly, this is not easy to do. So that you can do like 3 to 5 times. If that is manageable, so you've sat up tall and you've held it. You've done one leg at a time with a bent leg 3 to 5 times. So now, if that was easy, you can do what you just did. And now while your leg is up there, pull your stomach in more and extend your leg out as much as you can. If you can, you'll straighten it. And then you'll bend it back in again, and then you'll put it down. Then you'll do the other side. Keep everything lifted, squeeze your bottom, pull your stomach in. Pull your stomach in more. Push your foot into the floor, reach your toe across the room, suck your belly in and sit up super tall. And then bend it again and place it down. Try not to anticipate the coming down, so when your leg bends again, don't let anything collapse. That you can do 3 to 5 times. If that is very easy, there's one other thing you can do to build on what we've been doing. So you sit up tall, you pull your stomach in, you don't shift anything, you bring your leg toward you, push into the floor, reach your toes across the room, suck the belly in, sit up really tall. Now with your legs straight, keep working and slowly lower your leg back to, this is hard, to the floor. And then you'll slide it in. Let's do that on the other side. It was so fun. Lift up tall. I know it's hot here, but you can't see the sweat running down me as I try to do this exercise. So pull your stomach in, sit up really tall, push into the floor, stretch your toes across the room, suck your belly in, keep your legs reaching where they're going, and then slowly lower your leg. Don't get shorter. And place it all down. Yeah, it's easy to kind of like, I put my leg down. So that you can do 3 to 5 times. And if that was easy, there's one other thing you can do. You'll want to make sure that you don't have the chair very close behind you, because we're going to take that tall shape and we're just going to tip back a little, and then we're going to come up again. You can plant your feet, squeeze your bottom, and just put your fingertips on your shoulders. You lift up really tall, and then flat as a board, you're going to tip backward a little bit, and then you're gonna push into the floor and pull your stomach in and come all the way back up again. And ideally you're gonna not get shorter. So you're gonna lift up and away from your legs, and then you're gonna push into the floor to help you stay tall and pull your stomach in to come back again. Poke your bottom if it doesn't like to work, tip back, and then pull in and come forward. If that feels easy, you could do the same thing, but you could reach up to the ceiling. So now we're increasing the length of your body, so it's gonna make it a little harder. So you're gonna lift up and you're gonna tip back, and now you're gonna pull your stomach in and reach a little bit up and forward. I just wanted to show this video from the side as well, so that as you're tipping backward, you're gonna keep everything in a nice straight line, and then you're gonna push on the floor and come forward. And then the reaching version, you're actually a little bit tipped up and forward, and you're gonna tip back a little, push into the floor, pull your stomach in and come all the way back up. And as long as this is working, and you know, your shoulders might move around a little bit and help you, as long as that's not painful, just concentrate on this for right now. That's why you're doing this one first, and this one is a little bit a progression from that. And another thing you can use in a seated and a standing position is this magic circle. Sometimes it's called a fitness ring. I know there's versions of these that you can purchase at Walmart and Target. Mine is from a company called Blvd. They are Pilates.com. And this is the original kind of old school sort of circle, the way Joe Pilates had constructed it. It has metal bands and these padded handles. And I have one that has 3 metal bands close together. There's a 2-band, a 3-band, and a 4-band. The 3 is kind of pretty average. The 2 is a little bit easier. And the 4 kind of doesn't move very much. So what you can do is you can put this circle right above your knee joint in the inner thigh, and then bring your feet together and your knees together. So the circle will become an oval, and you're trying to line up your hip, your knee, and your foot so that those joints are all in the same line. And then basically you're gonna do what you did squeezing and sitting up tall, and you're just gonna squeeze the circle and almost feel like you're gonna pull your stomach in and away from the circle, and then you're gonna relax. And this is actually really good to do if before, when you just had nothing and you were sitting and squeezing and pulling your stomach in, if you didn't feel like anything was happening, or if it was hard to feel, this is the way to figure out what's going on there. And then you're gonna relax. You can do about 3 to 5, press on the floor, pull your stomach in, sit up super tall, and then relax. And you can also use it, you can also press outward. It works better actually if you're lying on your back, but I think you can do it here too. So you're gonna kind of use these muscles. So you're gonna sit up tall and you're gonna press out to the side and relax. And if this bothers like any sort of knee thing, of course leave it out. And then we're gonna use the same circle, but we're gonna use it in the arms. So and as we do these things with the arms, you can do this series sitting as well as standing, and I'll show the standing version in a moment. But know that all the things we worked up to this point, where you're sitting up super tall and squeezing your butt and pulling your stomach in, that's going on while this other stuff is going on. And that is really the challenge. It's nice for your arms, it's a nice little fringe benefit, but it's really about what's happening in here. So first you can just reach the circle. You could even rest it on your knees at first, or like keep it just above your knees. And you're just gonna pull your stomach in, and don't feel you have to smash the circle, but you just wanna kind of press the circle together to help you use your stomach and maybe your back as well. And then you're gonna relax it. And you can just kind of contract the circle, squeeze your bottom, and relax. You can do that a few times. If that's easy, lift the circle to where you can look through it. So now you're gonna do the same thing. And you want the heel of your hand or the palm of your hand on the little pad, because that's gonna give you the access and the connection to use your back muscles more than your arms. Or I should say as well as your arms. And you can do a few there. And then if that's easy, you can reach it up as high as you feel like you can control it, and then you're gonna squeeze it there. Again, you're sitting up tall, you're squeezing your butt, you're pulling your stomach in. And so if you've done a few there, a few a little higher, a few a little higher still, and you want a little further challenge, if that's going well, then you can also move it up and down for 8 counts. So you can pulse the circle, squeeze your bottom, sit up tall, move the circle, and then move it down. And you can do that up and down, a total of, you can do it once, you can do it about 3 times. And then now let's take a look at doing those same things in a standing position. And seated is going to give you a little bit more help and a little bit more support, especially for your back. And standing is going to up that challenge a little bit because you're even fighting gravity more than just sitting upright. So now let's look at the sitting exercises with the magic circle in the hands in a standing version. And I'm just going to face this way so you can see what's going on. You can take the same stance that you used sitting, pull your stomach in, squeeze your bottom, and first you can just have the circle down beside you and you're going to squeeze it and release it. Squeeze it and release it. Then you can take it forward, straight ahead. And then you can reach it up as high as you can control. And you want to make sure that your arm is not going so high that all you have to squeeze the circle is your hands. You want to feel like the same things that you feel squeeze the circle as it's low don't disappear when you go higher. That's why I'm kind of stopping here. This is kind of where I feel like I still have all my muscles with me. And then you can take it back to here and back to here. If that seems easy, you could do like a set of 5, 3 or 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 5. That's plenty. If you want to up the challenge a little bit, you're going to go up for 8 counts and down for 8 counts. So you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could do that 3 to 5 times. If that still seems easy and you're not concerned about your balance, you can do the same thing that I just did with the circle going up and down as you rise up onto the balls of your feet and lower back down. I'll show you. So on the way up with the circle, you're going to rise up onto the balls of your feet. And then on the way down with the circle, you're going to lower your heels back down again. Up with the circle, lift up your heels. Pause at the top if you can, and then down. And if you do that 3 to 5 times, that is perhaps all the exercise you need for the day. So let's just look at a couple more things with the circle that you can do standing. If you have good knees, you can put the circle just above your knee joint. Bring your heels together if you can, making a V with your body, your toes out, your knees out. Squeeze your bottom, pull your stomach in and straighten your legs, and then bend your knees again. Again, if this doesn't feel good in your knees, stop. Squeeze and stretch your legs. The circle might not close all the way. One more time. I'm just going to show it from a different angle. So you want to make sure that as you're, this is not graceful to get in, I'll grant you, but you want to feel like once you stand up, you're not squeezing the circle, sticking your butt out. Your tail is tucked under, your stomach is pulling in, and you're trying to, again, make a nice tall shape with your back. And this is not easy to do. Whew. And then let's get our chair again. So if you have something to balance on, you can certainly use it. If you don't need to worry about balance, you don't have to have the chair. And you're going to put the circle between the ankles. It's actually going above the bone of your ankle. And I'm going to use the chair for balance. And then I'm going to take my hands away. So you're going to bring your feet together so the circle is an oval. Squeeze the circle to give you a nice lift in your center. And you're just going to shift your weight so that you're on one foot. You're still squeezing the circle so it doesn't fly away. And you're just going to pull the legs toward each other and pull your stomach in. And then you're going to release. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say release. You're going to control the circle back open again. And then if that feels like you don't need to balance on the chair, you can just reach your arms out to the side. You can have your hands on your hips, whatever feels good to you. And then when you're ready to switch sides, squeeze the circle, put your foot down, shift your weight over to the other side, pull your stomach up and lift that foot off the floor, and then you're gonna do the same thing here. Keep feeling like you're trying to gather inward so that you're pulling your legs together up into here versus pressing your leg at the other one. And then squeeze the circle, place it down, gracefully bend over to pick up the circle. So now, the big finish, lose that circle. If you're all good, now we're gonna do a little bit of what we did sitting where we bring one leg up at a time. And you can either do this with the arms out to the side in kind of a marching fashion. You wanna pull your stomach in, so when your leg comes up, you don't lose your upper body. So you're gonna pull up, pull the stomach in, pull the stomach in, pull the stomach in. You can do this about 10 sets, and then you can relax. If you're not concerned about balance, you could also pull one leg in quickly and hold it and put it down. Pull your stomach in and hold it and put it down. If that's not nice to your knees, you can hold under your thigh and put it down. Hold under your thigh and put it down. And this is lovely, you know, if you can, because to hold yourself and not wobble when you get up there, it's not easy to do. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll include a list of the exercises and the little timestamp, so if you want to page through to see the exercises without having to go through all of them, that might be helpful. If you have questions about other exercises like this or want to see a different kind of workout where you don't use traditional Pilates equipment or just use a small prop, please leave me a comment below. Become a subscriber so you can see more videos like this, and thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your Pilates. Bye! And now we're on to the rocking. And now for a counter stretch.